So how many of you have actually had to fight to get your kids the care that they require? I know with Vinny, when he was 5 months old, he really progressed and caught cold and was admitted into St George's intensive care unit, but they actually refused him ventilation. At one point, one doctor actually turned around and told me that they would give him morphine so he would forget to breathe and die peacefully. If it wasn't for the Royal Brompton who stepped up after a week and said we'll take him, he wouldn't be here today, because on arrival he crashed because he actually had 2 collapsed lungs, which was aggravated by the fact that he was transported there in an emergency with no ventilation because he was refused it. So the Royal Brompton knew that even with a neuromuscular condition as severe as spinal muscular atrophy, that he could have a good life, and they follow protocols to the T. Whereas across the UK, they are not followed. I mean, there's been protocols in place for children with spinal muscular atrophy for years, and they are completely ignored by some of the main hospitals, especially the further away from London you go. It's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. You shouldn't have to fight to get your kid basic care. Like, without Vinny's equipment, he would die. There is no two ways about it. He would not be here today without that equipment. And if there is specialist equipment that could help prolong our children's life, then why isn't it being used? Is that down to cost, or is it down because they think that they won't have a good quality of life because of it? But that's what I've always advocated for, is the fact that quality of life depends on the family and the people around it. I mean, for us, Vinny has travelled. Winter's a bit crap, if we're honest, because it's cold and flu season, we can't do much, but generally as a whole, we as a family try to do as much as we can together during the better months, and then spend winter hiding away so that we don't all get sick. And but yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand, is the actual constant fight. They just see you looking after a disabled child and they think, oh, this and that. And it's the same for adults as well. I know so many adults who are constantly having to fight. In fact, I think it's worse when they move into adult services. It needs to be highlighted and it needs to be addressed, really, doesn't it? Because, I mean, although the NHS is amazing in so many ways, but if there's specialist care that is there to help children and adults with a condition, then that should be used. It should not be refused.